You know, for me, I know that Scott's reputation in the industry with, you know, he's not a show, Strikeforce isn't a show that just started and spending all sorts of money and then it's going to fold right away. We've all seen that happen. And, you know, I'm very, very confident that Strikeforce is going to be making big waves and be around for a long time. They had the history of being around for a long time, and Scott also has a reputation in the industry that, you know, he's very fair and knows the game and knows how to promote. So I'm excited to be involved with them and not have to cut through all the BS and red tape that I've had to cut through in the past.
Coming to Strikeforce, you know, Scott has a long history. Also, you know, other organizations, I don't want to get caught in the shuffle, you know, and just be another fighter and hundreds of other fighters and there's not many other organizations, but you know, they've got a lot of great shows coming on board. They're signing great champions like Henderson, and you know, I want to follow that. I want to be part of that. You know, I want to be part of something coming up and putting on good shows. Also, one of the factors was that, you know, if I wanted to, you know, I have the option to box also, and they let a lot of the other fighters do other things where they're not so restricted. So I really respect that. But as far as boxing, you know, I want to show the Strikeforce that I'm committed to them, and I'm just going to be fighting MMA and whoever they want me to fight, whenever. I don't care. I just want to show that I'm committed to this organization. I want to see them grow because they will. Thanks.
For Dan, first, when I sat down with Dan, I said, well, Dan, who do you really want to fight? He said, you know, because I'd love to fight Jake Shields and take his belt. That's what he told me. That was the first fighter that came to mind. And then he said, then I'll fight you know, that Giger guy, the Sashi guy. And then I'll fight Fedor after that. I mean, you know, so the expectations are very high. But, you know, when Dan Henderson's looking you in the eye and say, I want to fight these guys, you know, he's not kidding. So he wants to fight the world's best, and, you know, Fedor's here, Giger Musashi's here, Jake Shields here, and those are, I think, 3 big fights for Dan. And for KJ, well, you want to comment on that, Dan? Because,
you know, I'm sure he ad-libbed a little bit of what I had said, but, you know, for the most part, those are 3 of the names that have come up over the past couple of weeks since I've signed with Strikeforce. And, you know, I'd love to fight any of those guys. I do this for the challenge, and it gets me excited. The tougher the matchup, the more exciting it is for me. You know, it's just one of those things. I love the challenge, and all 3 of those guys are a great challenge of it. And I think, you know, coming off my last fight at 185, and it's just a natural spot to start, I think. You know, but I think if I do fight Jake Shields, which is probably going to be my first fight, I think, if Jake takes that fight, I will probably want to defend that title once, you know, and stay there for a little bit. So we'll see what happens, and you know, but that is definitely a good possibility for our first fight. I think that might be up to Scott here, but you know, hopefully Jake, you know, doesn't run back down on Sunday.
well, you know, Alistair Overeem is in a unique situation, and now he's fighting in. He fought in the K1 tournament, which he did very well. I mean, here's a guy that really is an MMA fighter, and he knocked out Peter Arts, knocked out Sexera, he knocked out Bonahari. And these are all world-class kickboxers, and so for him to have a stand-up skill at that level, it's impressive. When we booked the relationship with Alistair, we knew that we were going to have a window of time to fight him, and then he was going to go back to Japan and fight. So what he's doing now is nothing that wasn't planned already in the beginning of the year. And Golden Glory was very honest, saying, hey, you'll have this time frame, but that's when he got hurt. I'm not sure if you guys know the whole story, but he was supposed to fight here, and he got injured, and then, so now he's kickboxing. But you will see him here in the second quarter of 2010. And he's somebody that, believe me, when we get him to the mix, people are going to know who this guy is, and I'd like to see him fight Fedor.
And for Kate, what are you trying
Right now, I'm 12-2 as a professional boxer, so like I said, I love both sports, and as of right now, I feel like I'm a better fighter today because of going up and making my boxing better for MMA. So, yeah, like I said, I just love both sports, but I'm just going to focus just on MMA and show Strikeforce I'm committed. How's that, Scott? Of course. Like I was telling Scott, I walk around, if I don't do anything, I don't even know what I walk around at. I walk around at 185 if I don't run every day. So, I'm going to contend at 155, but that fight is definitely in the future. Right now, I just want to fight whoever Scott wants to put in front of me. I want to put on the best fights, so it won't even matter who I'm fighting. If KJ wins this fight, you're going to be guaranteed a fight, a good fight. So.
Well, there you have it. I mean, that's a fight that I hear a lot of dialogue on, and we asked KJ, is this something we'd be interested in? And, he answered just like that. He said, of course, I want to fight the big fights, and with Nick Diaz, let's get it on. So now we have to have extra security tonight at the fight.
As of right now, I'm just going to concentrate on MMA and be committed to Strikeforce. But further down the line, whenever Scott's ready, I see myself being champion for them and eventually challenging a boxing champion.
And for both,
Well, I think it's getting pretty close to that already. I mean, I think me, in the situation I was in with the UFC in my fight career, I wasn't on a downslide and cut from the UFC. I chose to leave over there and really put a lot of faith in Strikeforce, and I believe in the future with them. And I think that's going to really turn a lot of fighters' heads to look over in this direction as their contracts expire or get close to being up with the UFC, and really give them another choice. And that's great to see in the sport. I think, the competition is great for our sport, and to have elite organization like Strikeforce really contending with, Fedor is definitely the top heavyweight in the world, and Musashi's arguably, how would he do against the UFC guy? Nobody can really say that. These guys are top guys in the world, and Strikeforce has them, and I'm excited to be a part of that. And then for me to come over here and just add to what they already have, I'm excited about.
Do you feel your smile was made for CBS?
I'm sorry?
Do you feel your smile was made for CBS?
I didn't hear you.
Do you feel your smile was made for CBS?
My smile was made for CBS. Yeah, I love the smile, and I'm sure I'll be smiling that night as well. Before and hopefully after.